Dave's trying to mess us up.
No, he's not.
He's talking about 5, 4.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Fifth floor.
We're all a little messed up because it's really thundering outside. I know my car windows are down. I'm not worried about it. I don't.
man.
At this point, listen, I don't even care.
I
don't
heard
care.
that.
Listen, we don't want to take up any of your time. This is amazing.
Oh, wow. Thank
This
you.
is fascinating.
Thank you.
Just reading what I read on the internet
Mm-hmm.
and just reading through a couple of pages. This is Donald's book, Dr. Morton's book, Faces, The Evolution of Authenticity.
Yep.
Let's hear about this.
And let's welcome him.
Hey.
Thank you all so much.
Like talking about the book.
Welcome back, Dr.
Oh,
Donald.
thank you, man. Thank you so much. The book comes from what I believe to be a very much needed perspective. And that is that no matter how great you are, all of us over the course of our lives go through a journey of authenticity. And we're trained really to be fake over time, based upon how people treat us, what they believe we should or should not be, say or should not say. We're trained over time to develop these layers of masks that we have. And it's not until we decide at some point that we're going to stop pleasing people and be the person that God's created us to be, that's when you reach a place of wholeness and authenticity. So the book is my own personal journey, but it has principles in it that I believe will help any person who reads it come to a place of wholeness in their lives.
My sister gave me a book once called Avoiding Snares. And one of the sentences in that book was, the brightest, strongest mirror is so painful to look at.
Wow.
And right now I feel like running from the set because this is too close to home.
Wow.
I'm not going anywhere, Dr.
Wow.
Morton, but I'm like,
Wow.
wow, I gotta go.
Yes.
It's too close. And
Yes.
here's why I say that. Like, as you were speaking, like 3 stories came to mind. I'm just
Okay.
gonna tell one of them.
Okay.
When I was going to like college orientation at the University of Delaware, I
Yes.
was with my mother, and we spent the whole afternoon there. And at the very end, this woman walked up to us and said, "Do you mind if your daughter is roommates if our daughters are roommates?
Okay.
Because I've been watching your daughter all day, and she is so confident and so poised and so." And I'm
Wow.
like, "Who is she talking about?"
Wow.
She was talking about me, and I was scared to death that
Wow.
day. I was scared to death, trying so hard not to cry, and what this stranger saw was
Yes.
poise and confidence.
Yes.
You want to
Yeah.
talk about a firmly
Yes.
placed mask?
Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and let me
Wow.
share this as well. When you write a book such as the one that Dr. Donald has written, number one, it takes humility. It takes willingness and obedience, and it takes courage. Because, like as you were saying, Dr. Donald, that we all have faces
Absolutely.
that we put on. We have public and then private.
Absolutely.
And in a sense, there's a time and a place to reveal certain levels. But what happens, and what has happened to so many people, is the ability to differentiate. Thank you. That's the word. When we are to use public and private, personalities, it sometimes gets messed up. We get lost.
Here's why, though.
Yeah.
The truth is that all of us should have a face that is public and private. They should be the same face. Jason Collins, if you remember, recently came out as being a gay male. One of the things that his father said in an interview with Oprah was, we're happy that he came out solely because he did not any longer have to wear a game face. So the very last chapter of the book deals with game faces, the ones that we put on because we got to put on a show, we got lights, camera, action. And at the end of the day, God wants us so whole that whoever we are in private is the same person that we are in public.
That's what we said last night. We were on the phone last night, and I said my sister used to have a chalkboard in her house that said, and she written in chalk, "What you are at home is what you are."
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now the only thing that I would say to that is certain people, if they cannot accept and respect who you are, do they deserve, this is a question, do they deserve to penetrate to your
But
deepest
here's
self?
the deal, Mike. I think that's a great question, and I want you to listen to the question that you just gave, because what it suggests is that you're still performing. Right?
Well,
Watch
no.
this. Here's why.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because at the end of the day, a person that is in my private company, personal company, whatever the case may be, I'm going to be me. And I'm not going to allow anybody that's in my life, not in my life, to determine what my behavior is or is not going to be. If in fact they can handle it, fine. If they can't handle it, fine.
Right.
But I've decided to be whole enough that I'm going to be me, whether I'm with you, whether I'm with my mom, whether I'm with a colleague. I'm going to be whole enough to be myself. If you, the very first chapter of the book is called Face Off. It's based on a movie. John, remember that?
Yes.
Yeah,
John
saw
Travolta,
that.
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage tries to kill John Travolta at the beginning of the movie, ends up killing his son.
Right.
When he switches faces, he looks in the mirror after coming out of anesthesia. Remember that?
Yes.
And he starts to fight himself.
Yes.
Because the face he sees in the mirror
Was so hated.
because it represented someone tried to kill him.
Right.
The face that we put on is so disingenuous that it's really trying to kill us. It's not helping us. It doesn't heal us. It doesn't bring us to a place of wholeness. It's really trying to kill us. And until we get to a place, we play October 31st every day of the week. So Halloween is, we're in Halloween in perpetuity. So until we get to a place where we're whole enough to acknowledge this is who I am, and whoever can be in my personal space, to your point, has to be able to embrace that this is who I am. If you can't, then clearly you don't deserve to be close enough to me to be able to handle this person that I am.
Do you
Exactly.
talk about relationships here?
I
And
do.
about when you have your mask on in your relationship?
I do. And I'll say this: my ex-wife Wayna is out in the
Green
Green
room
room.
area.
and a portion of the book deals with our marriage. It deals with our divorce. We are great friends today. People cannot figure it out how we can come through a divorce and be great friends. But here was the deal. One of the most powerful moments of my life was when we were both at church. We had gone through all of the counseling. We're going through all of the stuff necessary, and we decided that it just wasn't going to work. Well, the next day at church, we had a guest preacher come in, and the guest preacher was asking everybody to stand that had gone through the similar things, so on and so forth. So she said, "How many of y'all happy in your marriage?" I stood. Wayna stayed seated. It was the most powerful moment because I still was in my
You
mask.
were in your mask.
I still wanted to, and she would
Right.
put her mask down like, "Donna, we not happy. We divorcing, dude." But at the end of the day, I had to acknowledge it's those kind of painful moments
Right.
that are sobering. Because sometimes you need egg on your face
Right.
before you can really come to the place where you say, "Man, it's another mask
Right.
that I'm
Right.
having to deal with."
Right.
And so a lot of who I've become, she has this saying, always remember, be true to yourself, that kind of thing. And that stuck with me because I remember how important it is for me to be true to Donald.
And that is most important because as we begin to take our personal inventories
Yes, sir.
and admitting to ourselves and recognizing within ourselves where our strengths and weaknesses are,
Yes, sir.
until we can get to that point, we're going to stagnate and we're going to plateau at some
Yes, sir.
point.
Absolutely.
But when we start doing that, then we're prepared because God knows that, as they say, more will be revealed.
Yes,
so
sir.
right after we addressed and we progress to this level,
Absolutely, man.
and we say, "I got it."
And you ain't got
Guess
it.
what?
It's
Yes,
something-
exactly.
And even, and I want to make sure that I get this in because a part of the book deals with some very personal moral failures. Chapter 5 is called "I Fell on My Face." And it deals with some things that I'm not so proud of, but it helped to shape a wisdom in me,
Yeah.
the clarity in me, an acknowledgement that there's some parts of me that I wasn't a good dude. I really wasn't. Preaching the gospel, love God. I loved him then, I love him now. But there were some moral parts of my life that just were not They just were not good. And I'm thankful to God that he still allowed me. People praise God for several different reasons at
Yes,
church. I
yes.
praise God because he still allowed me to keep my assignment.
Yep.
There were
Oh,
consequences
that's
of my behavior, but he allowed me to keep my assignment,
Amen.
even knowing that I had moral failure.
That
Amen.
is powerful.
Yeah.
That is
because
powerful.
he does gift us with assignments, and he could take them away.
Absolutely.
And
Right.
then we can't do his work
Absolutely.
anymore.
Absolutely.
Until you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
wow.
that's-
I love it when you come on.
I love
yeah.
being here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you all so much
He's
for
the
allowing
real
me
deal.
too.
He's
Yeah.
the real deal. He's a genuine person, and that's why I love him. You know, that's why he's
I love
our
you,
brother.
man. I
We
appreciate
want to
it.
thank you very much for coming
Thank you.
on. And where can we get the book?
You can go to www.donaldmorton.org. I'll be selling them out my trunk in the parking lot right after this meeting. But for real, I got a couple here that people can be able to get. They're retailed at $16.99, but for your audience, they'd be $14.99. We
God-
get them today.
God bless you.
And we want to make sure everybody gets a place. Here's the good news. I'm done here. I was in an interview, and the Black Life coaches decided to use this book as a textbook of what it means to go through this journey
That's
of
awesome.
authenticity.
That is
so I'm
awesome.
very, very grateful.
Do you see
That's
how this connected with, of course you do, with Christian's book, Made to
Absolutely.
Stand Out?
Absolutely.
Because, you can't put that mask on.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you
the
so
program.
much.
It's
Good to
great
see you guys
again.
Good to see you too, fam.
And if you want to get the book, just make sure that you visit the website that Donald mentioned, and also you can find him on Facebook. And we will put information on this video when we post it on YouTube
Yes.
about how you can get the book.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back with Christine Matthews.